Welcome to the Superwomen of the Travel industry. You might be wondering, how are we on a virtual world today? I think this is our first video series on Superwomen of the Travel industry with the Dope. So we are on a virtual world post the COVID space. Right now, we are still in the lockdown period, and we have with us our first guest in this series, that is in the virtual arena series, Ms. Shoba Mohan, founder, Rare India, a representation and marketing company, marketing single owner boutique hotels, experiential hotels. So she comes to us all the way live from Delhi. Hi Shoba, welcome to the virtual world, and let's meet at the virtual arena. Hi Shoba, how are you?
I'm good. Hi. It is in Gurgaon. But I'm speaking to you from Gurgaon, and it seems such a easy and the most natural way to go if you're closed down in your houses.
Now, I think before I go into all those, let me understand a little about you, and for our viewers, how has your journey been so far? And can you just rewind a little into the past so that our viewers all over the world understand who Shoba Mohan is?
I'm from the south, which it's something I proudly carry around with myself. And I came into Delhi in 1991, which is holy matrimony brought me here. So I was married into a family of tour operators. My brother-in-law runs a very well-known travel company, and my husband also runs a very well-known inbound travel company. I come from a communications background. I studied journalism and mass communication from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. When you grow up in small towns, and which is something I always tell people, is that it's the world is your oyster. You're in a small town, you bully your way through with your brothers and your close friends. You kind of really you have actually made a space for yourself. But coming into Delhi, which was a sea, right? I didn't understand a lot of it. I didn't understand why it was important to have a little color on your lips. I didn't know. I didn't know that you had to dress a certain way. And I didn't realize being called a Madrasi was actually a dig at you. So that's how Delhi was in the beginning. But I must also say in the same breath that it is Delhi is the city. Delhi and the NCR is the city that made me what I am. And travel happened organically. I was a railwayman's daughter, so we traveled quite a bit on trains, and I just loved the whole Indian Railways romance. I just love it. Travel happened by chance, and I was wondering what to do. One of my first jobs that I remember taking up was to work with a company called Photo Media, which is like the Shutterstock of today. Fantastic lady, Radhika was my boss, and tough, very tough. I worked, I think, for about 9 months with her. What happened in that time frame is that I used to write profiles for the photographers who used to place their photographs there. Then I figured out that this is what I wanted to do. Travel is where I wanted to be. So I dabbled in a couple of companies, including working for my brother-in-law's company for a while. Slowly, I started wondering about how I can do something on my own.
Sure.
Met a neighbor. I mean, we're great friends till now. And we started a travel company called TS Travel Services, which basically catered to the domestic market.
Sure. And when did you start Rare India, Shoba?
So this whole thing was a precursor. This was 1998, TS Travel Services. Both Sumati and I, my partner, both of us were constantly looking for new businesses, and it was getting more and more difficult. And we started to really relook at our model to see what can we do. I mean, one of the things we were wondering was if we should just shut it down. And that is where we came to. This was 9/11 happened, and we were looking at 2003, 2004, wondering if it is time to take up a job. Children came in, there was mortgages to pay and stuff like that. And suddenly, out of the blue, one hotelier who I went that winter. We went there. We went to see the property in the jungles that winter. He called up us with somebody's reference and said, we need somebody to market us in Delhi. Do you want to do this? I just jumped at it. I had a job waiting. I had given interview and my final interview at an MNC, and I was just waiting. And then I just said, well, this is what I want to do. I don't really want to work for somebody. And I took it up, and it has been phenomenal after that. I mean, I never looked back. By 2006, we were about 9 hotels. By 2009, we were about 15 hotels. That is when we rebranded ourselves from TS Marketing Services to Rare India.
And Shoba, tell me something. How do you what strikes you to take a hotel or a boutique hotel or under your umbrella, under the Rare India brand, under your Rare India umbrella?
Yeah, so the key thing is that the owner has to lead the idea.
Sure.
So once you meet the owner and you see his vision or her vision and passion, it kind of then it's you don't worry too much, because their heart is in the right place. So the soul of the property will be in the right place. And quite literally, the property takes on the character's interests, the passion and the interests of the owners, right? So that is what it is. So the first and foremost is to meet the owner.
Okay. The owner defined. And could you also elaborate on the USPs for a hotel being marketed by Rare India? Like the USPs which you would give to the hotelier. I mean, this is also for a lot of, maybe after watching this interview.
Absolutely. That would be a great way to come in.
Come on. You never know.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things is if they are a part of a platform, which defines similar kind of ideologies. I think there are over 70 representation companies in India now. You'll be surprised, doing Indian hotels.
Sure.
I mean, some of them are into the online space and everything, but then it is a growing community. But if you look at a group of hotels that really has a very, very strong ideology, has a strong principle of why it is on board Rare, I can, with complete humility, I can tell you that's what Rare is all about. Because I've never allowed anybody else to go and audit a hotel.
Sure.
I have, till now, I've been able to, the 66 hotels that are on board have been audited by me personally, because I look at a few things and I have a certain way of looking at the hotels I want to bring on board as Rare. And that is something that, that everybody knows, that if it's on the Rare list, Shoba has gone and seen it, not from the perspective of, not only from the perspective of the traveler, it is also from what a tour operator would want from hotels. It has a great story to tell. It has certain sustainable principles, which we've now started to audit. There's always an interesting story behind it, or how the owner started the property or something like that. It defines a few areas of heritage, intangible cultural heritage, wildlife conservation and all that, which forms a part of conscious luxury travel, which I'll explain to you later. So these are some of the things that come on board. And this is why a hotel would come on board. And what we identify for them is that we actually, we set them up as a community.
Your marketing, basically, when you take on a marketing, is it a marketing, representation and the reservations combined, or?
Yeah, reservations for a few of them. We don't, for a few of them only. I have a reservation office. We have about 6 of them for whom we do reservations.
As well. But not for the others. Not for the others.
We are open. We give them all the options. We give them all the, see, these are 10 to, even today our magic numbers are anywhere between 10 to 14.
And Shoba, another important factor is funding. Funding, I think, for any organization is very important. For a marketing organization like you, or anybody, any organization. Do you feel that the male entrepreneurs find it easier to get funding than a woman-run enterprise?
I don't really think so.
It's a very cliched maybe, but
I mean personally. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I've been approached by a lot of people asking me if they would like me to. I have a partner now. Uma is my partner, and who's kind of put money into the company after after a long time partner, the business walked away. But Uma drives strategy for me. I mean, she kind of advises me, and she's fantastic with all of this.
You must have come across women-run hotel industry, right? I mean, the entrepreneurs basically. Are they cautious about scaling up their businesses in the hotel industry or otherwise? I'm talking, this is more generic. I'm talking about a more on a general platform, not as Rare India, but
it's very difficult to say, Ranjini, really. It's a personality thing. You know, for the longest time, even for Rare India, I didn't think this would be this big thing. You know, I did what I liked and loved. I mean, I spend over 15 to 19 hours a day doing what I do. I mean, I'm constantly at it. Not because anybody is prompting me to do anything like this. It is because this is my life. I mean, this is what I believe this is what I was born for. That's that kind of a thing. So I don't really think like that. I just think women entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are so passionately involved with their businesses.
During this particular lockdown period, how as an organization you've been supporting your travel hotel partners? And the travel partners, of course, you can't do much. I mean, it's only through these webinars, you keep them engaged and, you know, that's the good thing which you can do. But I know there are these small boutique hotels, which is a lot of worry for a lot of people to sustain through this.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, that, how have you been supportive to them?
First of all, I made sure that my team is in a good space, telling them, listen guys, I don't want any of you to go. I mean, we are not a big company, we don't have too much money, but as long as we can sustain ourselves, whatever we have, we will share and we will sustain ourselves. Where the hotels are concerned, that is the big thing. You know, at this point in time, they need to know that we stand with them in support.
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, I haven't opened my mouth about payments. I have not said, you know, people have written and said, you know, we can't pay for 3 months. I've said, oh, absolutely. I mean, who's talking about payment? Currently, we continue to do what we will do just to ensure that post-COVID, whenever the markets open up, whenever travelers are comfortable to travel, you will be in the limelight, right? Our hoteliers, some of them, almost I can safely say at least 40% of them, because they all work in the sustainability space. How to be sustainable in terms of a crisis is also a question that they are asking. And there are some stellar examples within the community. And that's a conversation that is happening within the community.
Wow. That will be, in fact, based on that, I think I want to understand as the organization or your views on sustainable travel.
So,
from a traveler perspective and a hotel perspective.
Okay. So,
like traveler also has to be sustainable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't be singing a song that people don't understand. So what happened was, even from day one, from the first hotel on board Rare, sustainability was a part of the agenda, on the agenda. Not as strongly because I was still evolving. My understanding of that space was not that great. But to my good fortune, thanks to my blessed fortune, every hotel, a lot of hotels that came on board were from the were people who worked with tiger tops. Which is you can write a paper on it. One of the stellar examples of how they would draw in community, environment, and people into a model, that really worked to provide some fantastic experiences in the travel world. They are iconic. It's an icon. I mean, somebody is going to write a great book on it, and the principles that will create the blueprint for what sustainable tourism will be going forward. So in my audit points, even from 2009, some of the things, apart from saying great experiences, great this and great that, and lovely owner driven, great acres and all that, some of the points that they would always talk about is the land to key ratio. No vertical hotels. 12 acres, not 200 rooms. 12 acres, 12 rooms.
12 rooms.
Even less. Right?
Even less.
Or they would talk about how they do not want to give you plastic bottles. One of our hotels was one of the first people to say, sorry, we are not going to serve you bottled water. If you want, please bring your own bottles and take it back with you.
Absolutely.
Path breaking, very bold, because the tour operators really pushed back on this.
Okay.
Delhi belly is a reality all around.
I know.
To have somebody say that, but they did. They would come up with ideas like this. What do you do with the environment around you? Are you going to plant exotic trees and things like that, or are you going to let it grow wild? That became the wild gardens became another principle. What did you do with your heritage? What were the experiences that you were giving? What did you do with your water? What did you do with your garbage? All this was a part of the audit. Okay. Not very strongly put forward as a marketing or a highlight for the property. It was always a side story.
Okay.
Last year, when my partner moved away, what I did was we made this as a center. We made it center focus. So the center focus of RARE is now conscious luxury travel. Okay. So conscious luxury travel, saying that it is going to be future ready. Sustainability has become, and there is a lot of stuff to be read even on the internet. There are models. I mean, Costa Rica is a great example. There are models for sustainable tourism all across for you to read and study. So it has been going on, and suddenly we are in this space where awareness for this has been created.
Okay. I know our conversations can go another hour or another hour on a lot of topics, but is there anything else which you want to sum up, Shoba?
I would like to do that. And sure. Because everybody is in this whole COVID phase.
Yes.
I would like to tell people, all the wonderful people who are probably looking at this, that this is the time to reassess and revisit what we have set up as a travel industry. What is your model? What is it that you're looking at? Is ruining the very destination that you want to sell? Is that what you want to do and make it a mass tourism destination? Or you want to really think about how every travel can really create transformations? People are longing for it, and the awareness is so high through schools and things like that. Conscious luxury travel, I'd like to call it sustainable luxury travel, but in general, sustainability has a little bit of bad press. People would look at it as they say, it should be cheap, why is it expensive, and things like that. But sustainability is not basic. You can be very luxurious and you can still be sustainable. It is not cheap. It takes money to be sustainable, especially long term you'll make money. So sustainability is a part of every conversation now. And when I talk about conscious luxury travel, I would just want to put it out there, and you can take a look at our Instagram and social media posts, that we define luxury. And we want you to look at the RARE hotels, or any hotel for that matter, from the lens of consciousness, about being aware of the issues that face not only the earth today, but about communities around, about the destination that is there, about what it is that you can be looking at, and how you can help the destination instead of completely ruining it. The more you think about it, the more points for sustainability comes up. You create income, right? It is about the people, planet. It's about people, planet, communities around, and the projects in place. The last thing that we do as RARE is, none of these ideas are mine, right? The hotels are not mine. We only drive authenticity. We've gone and checked you out. We know you. We've spoken to you. We know your pain points. We know what the market wants. We know which markets will really appreciate what you're doing. That is what we do at RARE. My only this thing for me and my team is to drive authenticity, and very creatively at that. We are a fabulous bunch of creative people.
It was such a brilliant time talking to you. Thank you so much. And let's hope to hug in the real world soon.
Yes, very soon.
So till then.
Thank you, Ranjini. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. And thank you, Dope, for organizing this.
And I'm sure to all of y'all who are liking this post-COVID session, virtual on the virtual arena, please do click, like, subscribe to the Dope and to the show, and look forward to more sessions in future. We'll come back to the real session soon, but till then we'll have to remain virtual. And so till then, bye.